Hey, hello, and welcome to my channel. I want to share with you 3 tips that will make you a much better parent. The ideas that I'm about to share here are from this book called Unconditional Parenting. I'll leave the details of the book description and the author name in the comment section if you're interested in checking it out. Tip number 1. The first idea is to respect your children. It looks like a very silly suggestion, but more often than not, parents don't treat their kids as they would treat another adult. Most people would think that they respect their kids, but more often than not, parents treat kids in a way that they wouldn't dare to treat another adult. Let me give you some examples. If you throw tantrums again, I'll never bring you to the supermarket. That's a fake threat. Look around you, how well behaved every other kid is. Why don't you learn from them? That's an insult. I have told you umpteen number of times we are not going to Disneyland this weekend. If you keep asking me, I'm simply going to ignore you. That's ignoring them. Another more popular way of not respecting kids is by giving them a timeout. Timeout isolate kids both emotionally and physically. This is something you should never do to your kids, recommends the author. Okay, now that you know you have to respect kids and you should not shout or scream at them, how do you do it? The idea suggested by the author is very simple. Every time before you scream at your kids, take a moment, 3 seconds, and then reflect whether you should shout at them. It will make the whole idea of screaming at the kids a very conscious decision. Yes, that's right. More often than not, we tend to scream at kids subconsciously. It's based on our muscle memory. That's the only programmed way in our brain to manage or control kids. The idea here is to find a way to reprogram yourself so you don't shout at your kids. That's how you begin to respect them. Start being more conscious on how you behave with the kids. The idea number 2 is stop following carrot and stick approach. That's right. Don't reward your kids when they do what you want, and also don't punish your kids when they don't do what you want. Let me give you an example which will make things a whole lot clearer. You tell your son or daughter, if they finish their homework, you let them watch TV. That's a carrot. You reward them for doing something you think they should be doing. Another way of looking at the same thing is you threatening your kids. A threat exactly does the same thing but with a negative tone. If you don't do your homework, I'm going to throw the TV out of the window. Believe it or not, there are actually a lot of viral videos where parents have thrown TVs and video games out of the window. The idea here is don't bribe them with something or don't punish them for not doing something. It's mainly because you don't want something external to influence your kids. The whole idea behind not following carrot and stick approach is to stop having external influences and have something internal to motivate the kids. Have you ever seen a kid inventing something really awesome because she wants to buy an Xbox at the end of the term? It's not just kids. People do not do things in long term because of external motivations. They need an internal drive to do something, and how you could do that is by making the whole journey so much more fun. When your kids enjoy doing something, they're going to do it irrespective of whether you ask them to do it or not. If you have been listening closely, now the biggest question in your mind is, what can I do as a parent if I cannot have any external influence to control my kid? And that's where the best idea from the author comes in. The third and the most important tip is start listening to your kids. Parents often think they know everything about their kids. I know what's good for my kid, what they need, who they should and who they should not be friends with. How do you listen to kids? It's very simple. Start asking them questions. Ask them why. That's all. If they want to do something, ask them why. That will give you a lot of perspective into what's going on in their mind. Irrespective of their age, kids have their own ideas and their own intentions of doing something. When you begin to understand why they are doing something, you will be able to come into a much more mutually beneficial outcome. When you know what the kid wants, when you get to understand their perspective, it becomes so much easier. That's it. 3 simple tips to make your parenting so much better. Begin to respect your kids. Do not follow carrot and stick approach. Do not think of external influences, but see how you can get your kid to start loving the stuff you want them to do. Third idea is to listen to your kids. When you begin to listen to your kids, you'll be able to come up with more mutually beneficial outcomes. I want to end this video by saying parenting is a journey. It's not going to be a 90-minute movie where they conclude by saying happily ever after. You want parenting to be a more memorable lifelong journey. Please do remember, parenting is going to take a lot of time. What works for kids work for you as well. If you begin to enjoy parenting as a journey, then you'll enjoy the whole process. That's it. 3 tips from this book, Unconditional Parenting. Check out the video description if you want to know the author and the book details. Share your thoughts and comments and what type of books you want me to review and share in this channel. Thank you.